Cool. All right. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest, and welcome to It's Quest Time. Now, before we get going, I'm going to have to ask you if you could all not text me during this performance. When you're moving around, you're hosting up here, and all of a sudden you get hit by a wall of text that can really throw you off. So if you have any texts that you want to send, please hold that off to the end of the event, and I would appreciate it very much. Also, if you could stay clear of the stage area here, this way nobody blocks this big display behind me, and it gives me a little bit of room to move around, do the whole hosting thing, right? Also, if you can direct your attention to your menu wheel, you're going to notice at the very top of this menu wheel is a microphone icon that looks kind of like this right here. And if you'll notice, well, when that microphone icon is clear, that means that we can hear you and everything that's happening in your environment. We've gone ahead and turned that to red, and this means you're muted. So if somebody comes in your space and says, hey, are you still on that thing? We're not going to hear any of that, right? Likewise, if you have a barking dog or something like that, you're not going to face social ruin back at the campfire by becoming known as the avatar that suddenly started barking during its quest time. Right. Now, just because you're muted does not mean you can't express yourself. You are going to notice that there is a pink cheeked smiley face in your menu wheel, and when you click on this, your emoji panel is going to open up in the air in front of you, and it's going to offer you a wide variety of options with which to express yourself. I see some of you already know how to use this. If I share something deep and powerful and meaningful and it starts to build up inside, you can just let it out, just like that. Let it flow just that way. Maybe I got some backup dancers backstage, right? And they come out and we're breaking it. It's Quest Time, the musical, right? And they start dancing around. You're all very impressed with the production value. You can throw up the applause that they live for, and I can take a moment to drink it all in because it feels good. All right, now also if I ask you guys a yes or no question, you can say yes by smiling like that. You can say no by frowning like this. And maybe, let's see, I'm getting a text. Okay. Let's see. All right. Wow. Okay, that's really kind of bad. As I said, that can really throw you off. All right, let's see. Where do we leave off here? Let's see here. I don't mean to be rude doing this here. That's bad. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so yes to smile like this, no to frown like this. If I say do something funny, you can show me that you're laughing by doing the silly face emoji here. And then there's this thing, right? What you're going to find is this is by far the most distracting of all the emojis, and we're going to use this not to ask questions. We're going to be taking questions at the end of the event, so hold on to those if you have them. The reason we're going to use this, right, is you say something happens, like I'm moving my hands around up here, and you guys can't hear anything. You're like, wow, that guy's really animated. It looks like he's saying something, but there's no sound coming out. Or maybe the moderators have seen Quest Time one too many times, and they've had enough, so they decide to burn down the set. Right? Don't laugh. That's happened. Right? They did. There were big flames going behind me, and I'm going on like I can't see it. Right? And that's why I've got a sacred bond with my audience, a pact. If something goes wrong like that, I want to know about it. Right? So if I see one hand go up like that, it's probably somebody just messing around. I'm just going to keep on going. But if I see 5 going up at one time, I know there's a problem that I need to address. Right? So you're going to let me know if something like that goes down. Right? Now you can press the X in the middle of the emoji panel. This will close it, but it's a good idea to leave it open during events like this because, one, it gives me feedback, it lets me know how I'm doing, but more importantly, it lets the people around you know what you're experiencing. So if the person next to you starts going like this, that means they found something funny, right? And you may not agree. You may be like, I don't know what's with this guy, but I'm going to go stand over here. And you can do that because this is VR. Except for over here, because like we said, you're not going to stand on the stage, right? Because we got this pact, we got this agreement, right? Goes back like that. That's our bond, people. That's our bond. All right. Now, what is Quest Time? Quest Time is an event for Oculus Quest users, but all are welcome. So if you're on a device, feel free to hang out. You might pick up some useful tips that helps the growing Quest community because there's new Quest users arriving in Altspace each and every day. Now, before we set out, I want to get some idea of, how I should proceed. Okay. So I'd like you to, with those emoji panels, or maybe put your hands up like this, show me how many of you are on a quest right now. All right. Show me if you got some hearts, show me some love for the quest. Put your hands up because you can. All right. Let me see. All right. That's a lot of Quest users. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Now, how many of you are new to Altspace? Got any new Altspace users here? Let me see. Wow. Okay. Well, welcome to Altspace. You're really going to love it in here. There's a lot of fun and cool stuff to do. All right. Also, let me see here. Let's see. How many of you are new to the Quest? Like you recently got your Quest. It's kind of still a new experience for you. Well, a lot of new Quest users. Okay, well, you're in the right place. This is awesome. Good. All right. How many of you used to be on an Oculus Go and you upgraded to a Quest, or you're on a Go right now and you're thinking about getting a Quest? How many of you are doing that? All right, cool. All right. Well, when I first started out on the Quest, right, I was coming from an Oculus Go. And listen, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, right? So I'm used to talking with my hands a lot. But when I was in Altspace, on the Go, you only have that one controller. So all anybody saw was my hand going like this, right? And you know what? I couldn't wait for this other hand because I wanted to be able to go like this, right? I want to be able to move around. And well, when my Quest finally did arrive, I took one look at the controllers and I was like, you know what? Those are a lot of buttons. That's a lot to take in, right? And it can be. It takes a few days to about a week to really pick it up. So I like to go over the controls to get everybody comfortable. If you're already used to the controls, don't worry. We're going to make some movement exercises. It's going to be fun for everybody while everybody gets skilled up. And listen, I know you have the basics now, like the left thumbstick's going to move you around like this, and the right thumbstick's going to turn you around in these circles. And if you combine them, you get these big elaborate circles that make my presentation so much more dramatic. If you can all go in these big circles with me, I'm going to look out into the audience, and it looks like you guys are going to be ballroom dancing. Let me see. All right. Not a lot of you doing it, so I'm going to jump in and do it too. Let me do it too. Let's do the whole ballroom dancing. Now, I always say, I wish you guys could see what this looks like when everybody's going like this, right? And now you can. If you look up in the air, you're going to see Raven Eye floating up in the air. That's our YouTube camera. So if you want to feel all space famous, turn around and give a wave to the camera, right? Hey, YouTube, how's it going? Let's see who we got here. In this dark puffer jacket, we got TNT XYZ112. Is that a family name? That doesn't roll off the tongue, man. Make it easy for me. We got Bam Bam Cam. We also got Brendan over here in the blue. In this pinkish purple thing, we got Magenta Monkey. Oh, that's probably Magenta. Okay. Yeah, I should have seen that one coming. All right, let's see who else we got. We got Terry. We got Rockin' Doc 9. We got Jamie LGBT, right? We got Takeo the Bot, right? We got a lot of people in here, YouTube. Now, come on in, Altspace. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, now let's take a look at some of these controls. The first thing we're going to look at is the grip button, right? Now, on the right and left control, you have the grip button right on the sides here, and this is going to allow you to interact with your environment. It's going to allow you to build worlds with your own two hands. If you have the world building beta program, that's hard to say. If you have that enabled, right, that's going to allow you to, to build worlds, with your hands, right? And you're also going to be able to grab on to fireworks and things like that with this, or maybe let's see, basketballs. Why don't you guys give that a try right here, like that? Toss those out there. Use to grab onto these with your grip button, right? Throw them around, have some fun. Let's see here, and throw a few more out just so you don't get a feel for that in case you've never used that button before. I want to make sure everybody knows what's up. All right, now listen, if you're having a room scale experience for some reason, right? Whenever you walk out past that main menu wheel on your lower left there, whenever you walk out past that, that's usually the time somebody says, open your main menu. I don't know why it is. It's just the way it happens. And after a while, you're like, where is this thing? And you're looking around and you're looking around. It's like always behind you, right? It's important to remember that on an Oculus Quest, your main menu is in your hands at all time. What you want to do is you want to press on your left controller, this flat button right here. That's your main menu button, anytime you want it. So if you've walked out past your main menu, just press on that main menu button on your controller, and it'll open up right in front of you. And what's cool is when you close it, that menu wheel will be right back where it belongs on your lower left. So if you want it, your emoji panel, that's a quick way to get it back. All right, so keep that in mind. Also, you have to keep in mind too that there are a lot of these buttons. While these do seem like a lot of them actually do the same thing. The select button on the right controller, your right trigger, and if you have your left pointer enabled through your main menu, you're going to notice this select button too on the left controller. They all do the same thing. If you hold down your right trigger button now and move it through the audience, that's how I know everybody's name so fast. That's how I know that's Rockin' Doc 9, and that's Terry right there. And we also got that TNT XYZ112. That's hard to say. It's really hard to say. It's not like, it doesn't roll off the tongue. It's complicated. Don't be sad. It's a cool name because the first part of it's dynamite. Because the whole TNT thing. Oh, now we made him sad. Okay, I'm sorry. I attacked the audience. That's not good to do. Probably very bad. All right, another thing you want to keep in mind. Listen, when I first came in Altspace on my Quest, right, I was, I went into Campfire to test it out, and I was, feeling like I was on top of the world, right? I was like, just kind of floating on a cloud. And I looked around, and all the avatars were much shorter than me, right? And I found out why. I looked down, and it turns out I was floating this high off the ground. Is anybody willing to lift themselves up or scooch down a chair? We got Bam Bam Cam's doing it. Bam Bam, press down on your left thumbstick and show everybody what happens when you do. Boom, just like that. Try that yourself, TNT. Oh, whoa, he just disappeared. Look at that. Wow. Okay, it was too much pressure. Clearly, it was too much pressure. But when you press down on the left thumbstick like that, you got to keep in mind that this is going to be attached to your head. This is going to make you, if you feel like you're too tall, you're too short, you just press down on that left thumbstick, and it'll recenter you, and you'll be more comfortable. But if you're looking down when you do it, you'll notice it kind of lifts me up a little bit like that. What you want to do is look straight ahead and then press down on it, and boom, nice and level, right? So that's how you want to do that. That's how it works now. With the new avatars, I'm not sure because we won't have any legs. So I don't know what that's going to feel like, but I imagine it'll work in a very similar way. All right, now, what else do you have here? Now, you're going to notice on your right and left controllers, you've got this teleport button here and here. And when you press down on that, right, you're going to notice that, let's see, you've got, if you press down on your right teleport button, everybody joins me up along this wall here, and you hold down on that teleport button, right? You aim across the room, you'll see a teleport circle like a target. And as soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown right across the room. Everybody teleport over to me while there's still time. You can do it. I believe in you. Come on, let's leave no one behind. All right, so you hold down that controller. On that left controller, you hold down your left teleport button and aim right back across the room, back where we came from. Aim your target right over there, and as soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown right across the room. Another thing you can try that's a lot of fun is if you hold down both teleport buttons at the same time and make an X on the floor. As soon as you let go, you're going to zig and you're going to zag, just like that. All right. Another cool thing you can do is if you hold down your left trigger button, it's going to cause you to accelerate, right? Like you can go in a big circle right here. Everybody go in a big circle. Let's go like this. Make it like a hurricane, kind of make a tornado. Let's make it rain, people. Let's see what we can do. All right. Let me see. I'm going to check to see your form here. Let's see. Oh, wow. This is a good group. That's pretty circular. All right. Usually it's like figure eight or so messed up. You guys are doing good. Anybody getting dizzy yet? If you're getting dizzy, you should probably stop that thing. Another thing you can do, try this, right? While you're holding down your accelerator button, right? Face the stage and go backwards and teleport towards the floor, and you'll be doing the Altspace moonwalk. And I'm really hoping that is not a copyright violation. Another thing you can do, right? And this is pretty cool. If you're, I'm one time I come off the stage, right? And you're always learning new stuff in Altspace, right? And I come off the stage, I go into the audience a lot. And, the audience is crowding around. I need to get back up on the stage, right? I don't know why I never thought to do this before, but I reached over my head like this and I teleported backwards. Now, come on, you can teleport backwards. It even works with your left hand. Check that out. All right, so give that a try. And a lot of this stuff is going to become second nature after a while. Like if I tell everybody to go, because you make gestures with these buttons too, right? You can move your hands around. So if I tell everybody, hey, look out that window, right? Just like that. I don't think about how I'm pointing. I just do it. Right. And you're going to get to that level, too. There's going to come a time where even though you're always going to feel the plastic in your hands, there's going to come a time when these become your hands. You won't think about how you're moving them. It'll just work. If you're holding down the middle grip button like that, you'll point. And if you hold down point with both, if you hold down both grip buttons, you can give me a Brooklyn hello. Everybody kind of give me a Brooklyn hello. Be like, how you doing, everybody? There, that's all. That's beautiful. I love seeing that. Now put them together like this. You make that triangle. Hold them up high. That's the Altspace logo. Show me some Altspace pride, everybody. Awesome. Look at that. That looks really cool. Wow, you guys have lined up like we could do like a wave or something. I'm going to try that in a minute. Let's see what else we got here. If you squeeze your trigger buttons like this, you can be giving me 2 thumbs up, right? Maybe I'm not doing a good job. You go like 2 thumbs down, but like, that's not cool, Michael Forrest. That's not cool at all. Maybe you can do both of them like this, like you haven't made up your mind yet. Like it could kind of go either way. Maybe you can put them together like that. I don't know. People have been doing this lately. I don't know what it means, but it looks cool. All right. And you can touch your thumbs to the buttons or the thumbsticks without pushing down, and your thumbs will go down. You can kind of combine that into a cool dance move like that. This guy's making an X with his fingers. That's pretty cool. Let me see that. That's awesome. It's kind of like a W. I like that. See, now listen, when somebody does something cool like this and you want to, oh yeah, look at that. It's like an X. And when you want to do something like, that they're doing, the best way to pick this stuff up is by mirroring their gestures. So if you see somebody doing something cool that you like during the first quest time we had, a bunch of people came up from the audience and they started going like this. So I started doing it back, and then the whole audience started doing it. We had like 60 people going like this at one time, right? So if you see somebody doing something you like, just mirror the gesture. Oh yeah, we got the camera thing. Look at this, everybody. Hold down your grip button like this and put them together. You can make a frame like that. Right? Yeah, very good. Now squeeze that trigger button and it'd be like the shutter, right? It'd be like snap, snap. Oh, you're a great audience. Snap, snap. Gonna remember this moment forever. Snap, snap. Right? Wouldn't it be cool if you could make a screenshot like that? That'd be awesome. I'd like that. All right, let's see. What else we got here? Let's see. We have also, let me try to not leave anything out here. Okay, cool. Another very important button, and don't push this now, because if it disappears, I'm going to feel it. All right? But the best wear out of Altspace. Say somebody comes into your space and says, dinner's ready, something important like that, something, major important. All you got to say is, oh, gotta go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to press on the right controller, this flat button. You got to think of this like your eject button. This is the best route out of Altspace. And when you press it, your screen's going to ask you if you want to quit or you want to resume. If you press resume, you get taken right back into Altspace. So if you're dancing at the Universe, you get a little carried away and you press that button by accident, you just press resume and you come back and nobody will even know you were gone. Right? You won't destroy you with their awesome admin powers. Like, why did you disappear? Right? So that won't happen. All right, but yeah, so that's that. Now, that button also, though, is very good to press when things go wrong. So let's say you turn your head, right, and the whole world moves with you and you start to feel kind of dizzy, right? That doesn't feel too good. So you're going to want to get out of here in a hurry. So you press that flat button on your right controller, right? And then say quit, and it'll close the app, and you restart the app. It's going to solve most of the problems you have in Altspace. But every now and then, you're going to get something more severe. Like, let's say you're standing here, you're talking, you're hanging out with your friends, and you look to the left, and all of a sudden, there's this black void there, and you're like, uh-oh, something's wrong. And then you turn to the right, and there's a black void. And you look up, and there's a black void. You look down, there's a black void, right? And it's spreading, and all of your friends are frozen in space. They're all very dramatic. So you press on that eject button, and nothing happens, right? And you're like, oh, no, Michael Forrest lied to me. That's not what's going on. What's going on is your headset's frozen. All right. And this is going to happen in other apps too. And it pays to know how to deal with this quickly. All right. Especially if you're in a rush to get back. All right. Now, the way you deal with this is to restart your headset. But when I first got my Quest, I would take my headset off to reset it. Right. And if your headset's not in a charge cycle and the light's not going on, right, you could get to thinking that your device is broken because it takes so long to reset the device, right? So what you want to do is you take your index finger and you swipe it up and down on the right side, and you'll feel that raised up power button, right? Then what you do is you take your left index finger, you put it on the other side, and you squeeze them together so that you're pushing the button, kind of like a counterbalance, right? And then, I find it helps to look down like you're in a deep concentration pose. And after about 4 seconds, you concentrate so hard, your avatar disappears and you get plunged into the darkness. And you wait, you don't let go. After about 10 seconds or so, you start wondering, why did Oculus make this take so long? I don't know. After about 15 seconds, you start thinking about friends you haven't seen in a while. You wonder how they're doing. 20 seconds, you start thinking about life. You start asking the big questions, right? And then all of a sudden, out of the darkness, the Oculus logo emerges like the bat signal. And when it starts to pulse, all you have to do is take your fingers away like that, right? And your device will start normally. And this is going to take care of most of the problems you have, not only in Altspace, but in other apps as well. This is going to fix just about everything that can go wrong. But occasionally, very rarely, something very serious can go on. Like one time, I came out of Altspace, right? And there was this notice that said Oculus Home is closing. And below it was a button to press OK. It wasn't really giving me a lot of options, so I pressed OK. And when I did, the screen said loading, right? And it just kept on saying loading. And after about 2 minutes, I knew something had gone horribly wrong, so I went into my deep concentration pose, right? I did that whole bit, right? It's like that. And when I got back in, the screen still said loading, right? So, I asked my good friend Google about it. Google knows all the things, right? And Google said a lot of people were having this problem. And, oh, wow, nice shirt there, Magenta Monkey. I'm liking that. Wow, that's sharp. I like that. Oof, that's good. Starting to see that everywhere. So, what happened was, they said to do a factory reset. So I tried the factory reset. And listen, if you do the factory reset, it's going to put the headset back the way it was the day you got it. But you got to be really careful with this because, listen, if you have any photographs saved on your device, you're going to lose those, right? You're going to have to reinstall all your apps. The good news is you won't have to pay for them again. But I tell you, you're going to lose all your settings on there, too. You're going to lose, like, maybe something serious like a Beat Saber scores. So it's serious business. Only use this in an emergency. But it pays to know that you have it. All right, now let's see here. Now, if you are here today, you are obviously familiar with your Guardian system, right? You did the tour, you danced with the robot, you played with the blimp, all that good stuff, right? But what you may not be familiar with is how to use your Guardian system. Oh, we got another one here. TNT, nice shirt. That's excellent. What's going to happen is, though, if you can use your Guardian system to your advantage in Altspace, and you may not know how to do that, we're going to show you. All right. Remember earlier I mentioned getting dizzy in Altspace, right? Now, the way you can deal with this is if you get dizzy in VR, take a good look at your hand, right? Just put it up close to your face like this and focus on it. Right, when you're focusing on it, right, wait for that dizziness to pass just by looking at your hand. And as soon as it does, take your hand away slowly and take in the world around you. Right, that's one way to deal with it. But you can also use your Guardian system to achieve this purpose. Now, when you mess with your Guardian system, when you're walking around in VR, right, bear in mind, you got to be very careful, right? Because a lot of times in Altspace, you'll see somebody walking along and all of a sudden they hit a wall and boom, like that. And then that's a bad day right there. You don't want to injure yourself. You don't want to hurt your device or anything like that. Or you don't want to injure your device and hurt yourself. Not quite sure either, but both of those sound bad, right? So what you're going to want to do, right, is lead with your hands, or especially if you're new to VR and you're just getting used to it, lead with your hands. When you get up to the edge of your space there, you're going to see that grid appear in the air in front of you, right? But it turns out, like if I walk up to my real world wall right now and, the grid appears, I can still move my thumbsticks, which means I can move my avatar around in VR while I'm standing still in the real world, right? And what I could do is I can line it up with something like this display here, right? Something that matches my wall, right? And then I could take a step back, and take it all in and be like, yeah, that's good. I'm kind of anchored to reality right now. It makes me feel more balanced. Oh, no, I'm in the audience. What if you guys are hostile, right? What if you guys are hostile? You're all like looking at me and you guys going to like kind of stick your hands in my face, make me dizzy. Come on, mess with me. Give me your worst. Let me see what this group's got. That's really, what? That's not the best I've seen. I mean, it's pretty good. You kind of got it, but it's not like the thing is I can still see that display. And as long as I can see that display, my sentences aren't breaking. I'm not losing my place. I know where I am, because as long as I see that display and it's huge, there's really no way you guys are going to throw me off here. Right. And you don't have to use something big like that display. If, like see the edge of the stage here, maybe you can line this up with your real world desk or your real world table, something like that. Right. Oh, hey, Hummingbird, nice shirt, man. I like where this is going. This is spreading. Wait, that's not Hummingbird. That's Terry. Thanks, Terry. Wow. This is like shirt is everywhere. This is very cool. I'm loving this. I'm loving loving this. It's great. All right. So let's see what else we have. Now, what you're going to want to do is when you do that, right, and you, have lined that up like that, that's going to allow you, right, to feel more anchored to the real world and more comfortable. You'll get dizzy less, right? Another cool thing you can use your Guardian for, right, is you can transition from a room scale experience to a stationary experience pretty effortlessly. Like, let's say I'm up here. This is the second event I've done today. And listen, I've done over 300 events, and man, I got to tell you, I'm getting really tired. I really am. I'm getting tired of this whole bit. I need to sit down, right? Well, you can do that on a Quest, right? Say I'm in my Guardian system. What I do is walk up to the edge of my Guardian, right? Make sure I got enough room to stick my hands through, and then I got enough room to put my head through, and I stick the head through there, and the pass-through camera goes off. Or if you're using experimental features, now you got the double tap feature, right? You can just go tap, tap, and now I can see the real world, right? And I look over and I'm like, oh, there's my chair. Here's my coffee. I take a sip of that and I throw it down because I'm a rebel like that. And I go on over to that chair, right? I turn around, sit down in that chair, and I press the big blue button to say I want to have a stationary experience. And all of a sudden, right, I'm back in VR. The grid pops up, but not only am I back in VR, I'm still in Altspace, man. I never left. Right? The only difference is that my avatar is going to be a different height, and I just got to press down on the left thumbstick, and the center of me, and it'll be like I never left. Right? This works in the other direction, too. There was one time I was out of scared question, guys. I'm going to be back again. All right, so hang on to that. Right? See something like this. All right, and got sound issue here. Like this, sound issue possible. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me just smile my face if you guys can hear me okay. All right, I'm trusting it's not purpose. Let's see what's going on. Everybody, you're on mute. Somebody tell me what's up. What's up? What's the problem?
Your mic is a little bit laggy. You have to like re-enter the space if you know of it.
Re-enter the space?
I think I'm afraid. His voice is all glitchy to me. Is it all glitchy to you?
Yeah.
You should be back. Oh, by the way, you guys like my avatar?
Yes.
I copied him.
No. No.
All right, everybody. Let's see. How's this?
Who's that?
Is that any better?
Better.
Yeah, much better.
All right. So listen, you're
Who's the one
like
who
one of the
said that?
best
Yeah.
audiences I've ever had. You remembered the hand thing meant. You all told me that's awesome. Very cool. All right, hang on. Let's get everybody muted up again. That was awesome. Thank you so much for that. That was perfect. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. All right, cool. All right, now where were we? All right, now, yeah, you can transition. This goes in the other direction too. One time I was at this event, right, and I was moderating for it, and there's about 2 minutes left in the event, and I wanted to get up and walk around, right? And I figured I'd get up and I'd go into into my Guardian system there. And so I got up and I walked into it and I found the headset had lost my space, right? That could happen on the Quest. Changing light levels, if for one reason or another can't resolve where it is, and it figures, no big deal, just draw another boundary, right? You know what? When there's 2 minutes left in the event, it's a very big deal. So I panicked and I started drawing the boundary, right? And I'm moving around and I'm drawing that boundary out, right? Just like that. And I'm thinking of all the times I had to moderate for, an admin, why did it have to be today? And as soon as I closed that loop, right, the grid comes up out of the ground, right? And you know what I found? I was still in Altspace. I never left. Right, so you can transition back and forth in a way that makes you comfortable, and that'll work out. Let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, there's a very useful thing. Not useful at all. It's just really kind of cool. If you go up to the edge of your play space there and you see that grid, right, make sure you got enough room to move your head through it. So stick your hands out, and if you move your head through, that pass-through camera is going to go off. And when it does, right, if you do it really slowly, you're going to see both realities at the same time, right? So, this is really cool in that you can see Altspace avatars in your home environment. You're going to find that Altspace avatars are about 6 feet tall and they're a lot wider than you would think, right? You really can't recognize that until you've seen them in a familiar environment, like your living room, your office, wherever you VR from, right? So it's a good thing to try that. It's a little bit of fun, but really it's more cool than useful. All right, now let's see here. Now one of the great things about the Quest is it just works, right? But there are a lot. Doesn't mean it can't work better. There's a lot of great accessories out there that can really improve the experience, like those earbuds that kind of dangle down. And I don't know what I look like when I'm in VR, but when these are dangling down like earrings, I like to think they make me look fancy. I do. And the first time I tried it out, they were hanging down. I put them in the ears. I went to the campfire to test them out, and you know what I found? Right? I found that there's a breeze in the campfire. Did you guys know that? Nobody told me this. I went over to that fence there and I heard the water rushing by, and you know what? There's a lot of ambient sounds in Altspace that can make the experience a lot more immersive, but I never knew that, right? It's definitely worth trying out. Now, a lot of people say the Quest is uncomfortable, right? Now, Oculus does not do a good job of promoting the fact that there is a breaking in period. When I first got my Quest, I got a sore on my forehead. I know people have returned the device saying it's uncomfortable, and it's really actually not. The problem is when you first get your headset and it's not comfortable during the break-in period because the oils in your face will actually soften the insert, and and once the spring is changed the tension, it'll actually shift the balance of the device and it'll make it more comfortable, right? But it takes about I'd say about a week to maybe 3 weeks for it to really break in fully. And what some people will do is in the beginning, they're going to get like, oh, this isn't comfortable at all. I've got to get stuff to fix this. And they'll get a counterbalance or an external battery pack or stuff like that to really shift the balance around. And, and then when the device is broken in, the balance is shifted again. And then they're like, you know what, this device just isn't comfortable. And they send it back. Right. What you really want to do is just give it a chance to break in, give it a few weeks before you add something onto it. And then if you find it's uncomfortable and you want to try one of those external battery packs for counterbalance weights, then you can. Right. Matter of fact, you might want to try one of these VR covers. It comes with 2 of them. Right. It's pretty cool. One can be cleaned while the other one is in use. This keeps things more hygienic, which, as you know, is really important now. And that's a great thing. And you also have these prescription inserts if you wear glasses, because listen, it's bad enough if you scratch your VR headset, but if you scratch your eyeglasses, that can get really expensive. And the hardest part about having one of these setups like this is remember to take your glasses off when you come into VR. All right, so that can help a lot. Also, speaking of protecting your device, you want to the box the Quest comes in is fantastic. But if you move around a lot, you're going to want to use one of these travel cases. And if you want to try any of these products out, you can go to altvr.com, go up to where it says channels in the upper left, and there you're going to see all these Altspace event channels. And, down toward the bottom, you're going to see where it says Ravenhall events, like it says up in the sound booth up there. You click on that and you get taken to our event page, and there you'll see all these products on the left-hand side if you want to try any. You'll also see a join Discord button if you want to help us put on events like this. You want to say hello if you have a question like that. That's a good place to do that if you need to reach me. Also, in the upper right is the most important button on the internet. All right, it's true. That's where they keep it. It's the subscribe button, and if you press that, it lets Altspace know that you enjoy our content. Now, we don't get paid to do this, right? So every time we see that number go up, it makes us feel good. So if you want to say thank you, that's a great way to do it. Even better when you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love that when it happens. And YouTube, if you want to try any of those products out, you'll find them in the links. You'll find the links in the description below. And why is that so hard to say? Okay, so now if you if you have any questions or comments, what we're going to do now is we're going to make a raise hand button appear on your lower right as if by magic. That's what magic looks like in VR. And if you, in the meantime, while we wait for that list to fill up, if you're on Twitter and you want to follow us, you can find us at __Uncanny Valley. I know that looks like 1 underscore, but it is actually 2. All right, cool. Wow, we got a lot of people on the list. Let's see. We got Tasco. Tasco, I hope I'm saying that right. You're on the air, and I get to feel like a radio host. Where are you, Tasco? I'm not seeing you. Where'd you go, Tasco? Where are you, Tasco? You're somewhere in the audience. I will find you. I don't see you. Okay, going once. Tasco. Okay, you're gone. Okay, cool. We got TNT. TNT, you're on the air. What's going on, TNT? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. What's your question? Great shirt, by the way. I'm loving the shirt. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Wonderful. All right, so what's your question? Take your time. It's cool. You want me to come back to you? You want me to come back to you?
How's your day going?
My day's going pretty good. Thanks for asking. How about you?
It's all right. It's all right.
All right, cool. I'm glad to hear that, TNT. That's awesome. Yeah, everybody, TNT's having a good day. Throw up applause emojis. It's not easy to do that, right? You start, and all of a sudden you're talking, and you're a room full of 30 people, and you realize those aren't avatars. Oh no, those are people, right? That can make you a little nervous. All right, so let's see what else we got here. We got, let's see, we got Mega Man. I think that's or Megatam, or no, wait, that's Magenta. I think. All right, they really should show the full name on this thing, but they don't. All right, Magenta, where are you? I just called on you. Where are you? I'm not seeing you.
Right here.
There you go. There you go. Magenta Monkey. 1, 2, 3. What's your question or comment?
You know how you said like with the left stick when you press it down it recenters?
Yes.
Do you know like if it's is it only in this game or is it like in other?
Yeah, I've seen other games like attempt to use that as a button for different things. You're going to find that controls are going to vary slightly from platform to platform. That doesn't seem. I mean, there is some standards. Like they're trying to standardize a lot of this stuff. So you won't have to like adjust to every platform. So there will be some similarities. But actually, I'm not 100% sure if other platforms use it because mainly I spend most of my time in Altspace. You might want to experiment and see, if that's the case. Like go in the rec room and press down on that button and see what happens. All right, change your height and see if that works out. All right, let's see. We got time for one more before we head out. When we head out, we're gonna do something cool, so you're gonna want to stick around for that. We've got Tasco again. Tasco, what's up? You disappeared before. Where'd you go, Tasco? There you go, Taco, the bot. What's up? You have a question there?
What's the deal with the airline food? Like, just what's the deal with it?
You know what?
Like, I don't
I don't know. I really don't know
It
because you know what they've got to like put it into a small space, right? They got to use it a lot, so it can't go bad. They need direct refrigeration, but that takes power and it's weight, and they got to get all of it up in the air, right? And so like I don't think that's going to
honestly.
result in a lot of variety. What's the
It's
deal?
like,
with that?
hey, pretzel, and just throw
I
it
know.
there. It's just like,
I
what's
don't
the deal
know.
with it?
You know, really, seriously, I don't know what to do with that. All right, listen, everybody. I'm going to unmute everybody right now. And what I would like you guys to do, come on up here, right, and join me. I'm going to turn the stage blockers off. And all of you can help me push this button right here, right? What we're going to do is we're going to push this button. And when I do, I'm going to count 3. We're going to push it, right? Now put your back into it. Let's get this button pushed. All right, when I do, you're going to see the Talon hovercraft fly by the window. And you can fly these things. They're really cool. Ready? 1, 2, 3, push.
Ravenhall Talon aircraft
Look out the window.
en route to your
Look out the
position.
window. There it goes. All right, now listen, that's a hovercraft. We can fly these things. Let's go over to the Ravenhall Flight Academy and fly these things right now. And if you've learned anything here today, please share it with those you come in contact with. If you're in a campfire and somebody's like stuck in the ground and they go, you look down, you say, what's wrong, little buddy? And they're like, I'm on a quest, I'm stuck in the ground. Tell them to press down on that left thumbstick. They'll pop up and they'll feel better. You'll feel better because you helped somebody. And here's our ride, everybody. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here we are.
Talon aircraft is now
we
boarding
go.
outside for transport to the Ravenhall Flight Academy.
Oh,
Please exit the building and step into the blue light. Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming, everybody. You've been a great audience. See you next time.